I don't know how to address this. I've actually re-recorded the intro a few times because I kept thinking that the title would come to me. I don't even know what to title this just yet, but this is based on two interactions. One is based on an interaction with a listener and their personal story. And yes, they do know that I'm going to be talking about this on the show. And the other is based on a personal interaction in my own life with somebody that I know. And it is about refusing to heal because you're not hiding it like you think you are. You have, some of you, obviously I'm not addressing all of you. Some of you claim to be so happy in your life. Little do you know that it is so clear to people like myself that you have not healed. And how do we know that you haven't healed? Because you keep seeking validation. You wouldn't need to keep telling people how happy you are and how good you are if you really were that way. If you were really happy and you have really healed, it's obvious. It's all over you. It's all over you. When I say, for instance, to my loved ones, I'm not okay. They get it. They get it. They understand that Hoshi was not just a dog to me. So when I say that I am still grieving, because at this point, at the time of this recording, Hoshi passed away 2 months ago. They get it. They understand that Hoshi wasn't just a dog to me. And sidebar, those of you who don't understand pet grief, I want you to go ahead and exit. Stage left. Exit, please. Because that tells me you lack empathy. The loss of Hoshi carries the same weight as the loss of my grandmother. If you don't understand that, I don't want you here because I can't teach you empathy. I can teach you manifestation. I can never teach you empathy though. And so I need you to go with the tech billionaires who everybody hates, who don't like themselves and they're constantly seeking validation. Maybe they can teach you about manifesting. But I, on the other hand, I teach manifesting and to people who actually understand empathy and understand that the weight of losing your very best friend in the world, furry or not, carries with you the same pain as losing a human loved one. Okay. So, and I worded that all wrong, but basically what I'm trying to say is that I only want people who understand where I'm coming from to be here. I only want people who understand that a woman's role in life is not just to be a mom and a wife. Okay. Telling me that I should have children so that I can understand true love says a lot about you. That tells me you have allowed a lot of colonization of the way that you think, and I can't get through to people like you. So I'm not even going to try. So I don't think I can help you. There's a podcast that's a little more by a trad wife or something where they can help you, but I have no desire to. I'm here to help the people who get it. The people who get it. I always say that. And I say all of that to say that these two interactions told me that there are so many people going through life that are pretending to be healed. And I don't want you to pretend. When you manifest that plane, that hamster, that yacht, that Ferrari, etc., I want it to be from this place of pure joy and peace. And when you're at that place, you don't have to tell anybody because it's all over you. It is, nobody needs to even know about it. I will give you one more example before I have the team run the disclaimer. You'll never really hear me talk about my personal life or show my personal life. Because when it comes to relationships, I've healed. I've taken the time to heal, own my issues, own their issues, and I'm referring to past relationships, and move forward. So why do you not see Eric very often? That's why. Why do I not talk about Eric every 5 minutes? That's why. Because although no relationship is perfect, this relationship is perfect for me. This person is perfect for me. But I don't need to keep telling everybody that every 10 seconds. I don't need to. I don't need to keep telling you that I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Or I don't need to keep telling you I'm so successful. I'm so successful. I'm so successful. All of the above is true. However, I don't need to keep ramming that down everybody's throat because it's already obvious. Why would I need the validation of others? Why would I need that when I have already validated myself? That's what I really teach. Is for you to be so good with you that no one else's validation matters. You appreciate it, but it won't change anything. You're good. I'm fine. That's where I want you to be at and really mean it. Okay. And so that is where today's episode stems from, our two interactions. And yes, this listener that I'm about to talk about, they know that I'm about to call them out because they have not genuinely healed, and we're working on it. Don't get me wrong. We are working on it. They will get there, and you will too. We will all get there together. We're always healing. We are always working on our healing. And so I don't want you to feel like, well, I mean, I'm not really there yet, or this isn't an attack on you. In no way, shape, or form is this an attack. I want you to get there though. I want you to feel genuinely happy with whatever it is that you manifest, with the life that you want to manifest. If you are not happy with it, it will all come crumbling down because it is super easy to manifest anything in this life. Anything, because that's what we're doing all the time anyway. You're manifesting whether you know it or not. However, don't you actually want to enjoy it? Don't you actually want to be happy with it? I mentioned the tech billionaire bros and how they're constantly seeking validation and they have low self-esteem and they're not likable people because they refuse to heal. This is why they're so miserable. This is why they're always trying to make everybody else so miserable, because all the money in the world didn't help, did it? Because having all the babies in the world didn't help, did it? And so I refuse to allow my new moons to be that way. I want you to come back to me with stories of genuine happiness. That is what I was put here for. I know that the divine put me here to help others because what the divine saw in me was, yes, you are capable, but also you see right through the nonsense always. Nobody can get anything past you because you yourself have overcome so much. Now, there's so much to this, and I have to pull up my notes. So what I am going to do, my dear new moons, is pull up my notes, and at some point this will have to cut off because it's going to end up on Patreon. Some of it will end up on Patreon, but I'm going to make sure that the majority of this lesson is right here. And that honestly, the fun parts and the parts that I can't talk about here, that they end up on Patreon. At the end of the show, I'll tell you how you can join the Patreon. But by now, with all of these episodes that I've recently done about Patreon and mentioning it, I don't need to keep mentioning it anymore. So team, let's go ahead and run that disclaimer. The Lua Nova disclaimer. To those entering Lua Nova, understand this is a space of high frequency, owned and created by me, Josie the Mustang, a proud Afro-Latina. If you have issues with the Latino community, this is not the podcast or space for you, and you need to leave. If you're Latino or Latina, and you carry self-hate that makes you project negativity onto others in our community, makes you ashamed to fly your own flags from Latin America, or side with the very people who hate you, go work on your self-esteem elsewhere. This podcast isn't for you either. As someone who has never been the type to seek validation or approval from others, I personally cannot relate to your desire to erase our culture. If you have ever voted or supported Donald Trump, tune out now. Your energy has never been welcome here. Last warning. For those who doubt or deny our existence, the Afro-Latino community is very much so real. And Brazil is the largest Latin American country. These are facts. These are not facts that I created. These are facts. If you choose ignorance, I suggest that you educate yourself elsewhere. Try your go-to search engine, or better yet, open a book from time to time.